The room went quiet the moment the words slipped out. Trash. It wasn't shouted. That almost made it worse. I remember the way my sister's fiancé said it calm, amused, like he was commenting on the weather. I felt my stomach tighten, the air thick in my chest. For a second, I thought maybe I'd misheard him. I hadn't. Well, he continued, swirling the drink in his glass. Some people choose ambition, others settle. No one corrected him. Not my parents. Not my sister. Not even the friends sitting at the table, suddenly fascinated by their phones. I smiled anyway. I don't know why. Reflex. Maybe. My mother cleared her throat. Daniel didn't mean it like that. He absolutely did. Daniel leaned back in his chair. I'm just being honest. If you marry down, don't be surprised when life follows. I could feel my pulse in my ears. My fingers curled into my palm under the table. That's when my phone buzzed. One message. From Jacob. Parking now. I looked up. Daniel noticed my smile and raised an eyebrow. Something funny? I shook my head. No, just timing. Timing for what? My sister Lauren asked, her voice sharp. Before I could answer, my father spoke. Emily, let's not make a scene. Tonight is about Lauren. I nodded. Of course it is. It always was. 3 months earlier, I hadn't planned on being here. Sitting in an upscale restaurant I couldn't pronounce, surrounded by people who looked through me like I was furniture. My parents had called it a celebration dinner. Lauren's engagement. Daniel's promotion. Their future. Mine wasn't mentioned. You still working at that place? Daniel had asked me earlier that evening, smiling like he already knew the answer. I met his eyes. Jacob and I run a small agricultural supply business. He laughed. Actually laughed. So, farming stuff? Yes. Lauren squeezed his arm. Daniel's firm just expanded into Chicago. That's great, I said, and I meant it. My mother leaned toward me. You know, Emily, if you just waited, things could have been different. Different how? I wanted to ask. If I'd chosen money over peace? Status over respect? But I didn't. I never argued anymore. I'd learned silence was cheaper. Daniel lifted his glass. To smart choices. Everyone clinked glasses. I didn't. Back in the present, Daniel was still talking. I mean, he said, glancing around, let's be real. Love doesn't pay mortgages, connections do. My father nodded slowly. That hurt more than the insult. Lauren leaned closer to me. You're not upset, are you? I studied her face. Perfect makeup, perfect ring. No, I said. Why would I be? Because Daniel can be blunt. Blunt wasn't the word. My phone buzzed again. Walking in, Daniel noticed where my eyes went. Expecting someone. Yes. He smirked. Should we be worried? I met his smile. I don't know. Should you? The doors behind us opened. I didn't turn around yet. Not immediately. I wanted them to feel it first. That shift, that subtle change in the room when something unexpected walks in. The conversations nearby slowed. Chairs scraped. Someone whispered. Daniel frowned. What's with everyone? Then he turned and stopped smiling. Jacob didn't rush. That was the first thing I noticed. He walked in calmly, like he belonged anywhere he stepped. Clean shirt, worn boots, posture steady, not flashy, not apologetic. Just solid. The host hurried toward him. Sir, can I— I'm here for Emily Carter, Jacob said. My name sounded different in his voice. Grounded. Daniel watched him approach, eyes scanning, calculating. Is that— Yes, I said softly. That's my husband. Jacob reached the table and smiled at me. Sorry I'm late. Truck issue. It's okay. I said. Perfect timing. Daniel stood halfway. I didn't realize we were inviting guests. Jacob extended his hand. Jacob. Daniel hesitated before shaking it. Daniel. Nice to meet you, Jacob said. No sarcasm. No edge. That confused him. Lauren blinked. So you're the farmer? Jacob tilted his head slightly. I manage 3 regional suppliers and 2 distribution contracts. Silence. Daniel laughed. A little too loud. Right. Still. Dirt business. Jacob nodded. Dirt feeds people. My mother shifted uncomfortably. Emily, we didn't know he was coming. I didn't ask, I said. He wanted to meet the family. Jacob pulled out the chair beside me and sat. I've heard a lot. Daniel leaned back, arms crossed. I'm sure. Jacob looked at him. You called my wife trash? The table froze. Daniel smiled thinly. I said she made a poor choice. Jacob nodded slowly. Funny. Our company cleared 7 figures last year. My father choked on his drink. Lauren stared. What? Jacob continued calmly. We stayed small on purpose. No debt, no investors, quiet growth. Daniel's face changed. Not anger, calculation. Well, he said, money isn't everything. Jacob smiled. Agreed. Respect is. I felt my throat tighten. Daniel stood. This conversation is getting inappropriate. Jacob stood too. Not aggressive, just present. You disrespected my wife in front of her family, he said. I wanted to see who you were. And? Daniel snapped. Jacob met his eyes. Exactly who I expected. Lauren whispered. Daniel. He ignored her. My mother finally spoke. Emily, why didn't you tell us? I looked at her. Really looked. Because you never asked. Jacob turned to me. Ready to go? I nodded. As we walked out, Daniel's voice followed us. You think this changes anything? Jacob stopped at the door and looked back. It already did. We didn't talk much in the car. Finally, I said, You didn't have to come. Jacob glanced at me. Yes, I did. I smiled, tears burning. Thank you. He squeezed my hand. No one gets to decide your worth. The next week, Lauren called. Daniel's firm had dropped him. Conflict of interest. Things he hadn't mentioned. I didn't know, she said quietly. I know, I replied. We don't talk much now. My parents visit sometimes. They're careful. And me? I stopped shrinking. Because the moment someone tried to throw the word trash at me, I learned who was really disposable.